So as you saw that Ronin will have its own set of merchandise which is absolutely branded with Ronin, so the consumer can absolutely look out in style in public. So on top of it, we are bringing first time a configurator where you can choose from various set of accessories to make your motorcycle own. And the first time we will be putting it online and you can really personalize your motorcycle Ronin. On top of it, as you know, as a company, we have always stayed ahead in terms of technology. Yet again, we have a Smart Connect, which not only ensures safety and comfort with the Smart X Connect. Like tour mode is there, there's got ride mode, it's got voice and ride assist, turn-by-turn navigation for effortless riding, and telephony, and an auxiliary dashboard for tech-powered convenience. Also, this dashboard you can really personalize for your own self. It's like what you see in cars, you're going to see probably in Ronin going forward. Apart from that, we bring TVS Arrive app and with an impressive technology so that you can write your own story. So guys, this is the world of Ronin. Now I will invite my colleague R. Babu to take you through Ronin in more details before we roll out the motorcycle. Yeah, R. Babu, can we have on the stage?
Good evening. Let me extend a warm welcome from my side. Thank you, Vimal, for introducing us to the world of TVS Ronin. I would like to walk you through the highlights of the passionate engineering that has gone into creating the unscripted motorcycle, TVS Ronin. Let's look at it in three parts: the engine, which is the powertrain, the vehicle, and also the electronics and controls. The engine is 66 by 66 square engine, 225.9 cc, power, torque, but what matters is the distinctness, the distinct characteristics, a very strong low and mid-range torque, a unique flat torque curve as flat as it can get, and highly focused engineering that has gone into looking at the drivability. We have driven every mile, every kilometer of the initial stages looking for the distinct characteristics. That has been the theme of engineering, and it's also highly refined and excellence in comfort. On engine, there is a lot that you can do to make the ride more enjoyable, not only the deliver the power and torque, but also the characteristic of the engine. It can be offering a lot of comfort when you want to go for a long ride, and to top it up, the unique tonal character from the exhaust that adds up to the characteristic Ronin engine. Let's look at some of the details. The curve that you can see here offers so much of low and mid-range torque that keeps you going, and that comes out of a detailed engineering of a lot of bits. What you can see here is 3-4 pieces out of that. The wave dynamics on the intake track, typically a long track can give us high torque, but the dynamics matters a lot. The dynamics matching with the intake and exhaust, supported by a high acceleration cam that adds up to the dynamic optimization of the fuel flow, the airflow, and the combustion that happens inside. To get all of that throughout the wide range, particularly in the lower end, the shell bearings are used with hydrodynamic film for lubrication, which makes the crankshaft drive so free, so ready at the low speeds to deliver friction-free torque output. What it matters to the rider, all of that. It's best suited for any terrain, also on the gradients. Let's take a look at the gradients a little later. There will be less need to gear shift, so I keep going, and low revs, that adds up to the smooth and pleasurous ride. One of the fine detail in getting the combustion right is how you target the fuel spray. The fuel injection is something that will look everything the same, but the details matter a lot. The twin valve intake, the way the port design is done, a lot of simulation is done to get the characteristic twirl, the fuel flow inside, the way the automation happens, and the swirl and tumble, the way they would complement each other, is all done to get that unique characteristic torque and power delivery, and making also the combustion very smooth. The result, it's unscripted. There is no reason to compare or talk of scoring anything or winning a race. But then as a biker, I would like to know, where do I get, what do I get from the Ronin? So we just looked at certain typical day-to-day demands when I am on a bike, be it a 0 to 60, be it a pass-by acceleration on a highway, I need to slow down and again pick it up in the fourth gear, in the fifth gear, be it 30 to 80 kph or 50 to 80 kph, it just goes effortlessly, goes ahead. With the opening of the throttle, it just instantly responds. Another important parameter which all of us as bikers know is when I get into the traffic, I would like to be a bit lazy, I would like to shift gears less, I would like the bike to keep going. So the target, one of the engineering target is to get the third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear speeds as low as possible so that there is less need for shifting. And with the throttle opened, it just responds and goes. And biking is all about going on the weekends, going for long rides and also on the mountains. So gradability on higher gear is also an additional target we took. We wanted to make sure that in third gear, Ronin will climb the fastest on a 10-degree gradient, not just a small gradient. So these unique characteristics are also added with a unique signature, the Ronin sound character. This was dialed in looking into the fine details. One example here, what you can see is unique oil damping is used to quieten the camshaft when the engine gets hotter. Typically, as the bores expand, you get a characteristic sound. And to get that characteristic sound to the tune that we wanted, we innovated an oil damping to get the noise characteristics altered. Whether it's a guitar or it's a drum, it's all about the structure, the vibration that finally translates into noise. So the crankcase, the cover, the stiffness is all tweaked to get the target sound character that we had in mind to create that unique unscripted sound character. High inertia flywheel. The inertia not only helps to get the idle low and stable, but also it gets that characteristic sound, whether it is low speed grunt or as I wait at the signal for the word go. So the key 5 elements are tabled here, which are compared against what typically is available in the industry today. And those highlighted 3 are something that we added as an innovation to get that unique characteristic for the Ronin sound. It is like composing, so 28 different noises. These noises are in different conditions as well. It's not just about the source alone, but different riding conditions. Also the conditions in which I may be a rider, I may be a friend standing nearby. So much of detailed engineering was requiring dialing in individual parameters to get what we targeted as overall unique character of Ronin. And I think you should more listen to the bike than to me to hear that. To add to the fun of riding, it's also important to get that comfort. So the power is there, the torque is there, I keep going, but I would also like to have the leisure ride, more a pleasure than anything that's punishing me. So the thermal comfort and the ease of control was another topic that we took up. The oil cooler is enhanced, O3C technology is put in, and the cover, it's a unique design that has gone into 2 layers that helps both for the thermal comfort and also for the sound characteristics that Ronin comes with. And the assist and slipper clutch adds to the joy of controlling as and when I need, whether it's a partial slip, whether it's a shift down, shift up, all of that. So here again, a comparison to say things that are done new and different to get that unscripted characteristics. This engine has gone on to a vehicle. That's also something that is having unique design details, engineering, that makes it stand out of the crowd. The theme has been a pleasure ride. A pleasure ride is one where I don't race with anyone. I'm not here to win a race. I'm not here to check my lap timing. I'm not going to be scoring any points, but I just want to ride. Ride wherever I want to, go wherever I want to. It's my ride, it's unscripted. So what it means is planted, but also precise handling. Planted need not mean that I'm lazy, I don't respond. Control at ease. As I cruise through traffic, as I cruise through highways, any control that I would love, it is at ease. Comfortable, upright posture for long rides, and a great ride comfort in all terrains. That's been the theme with which the whole vehicle engineering has been done. Many of you will be familiar with these key engineering parameters that build up a motorcycle on 2 wheels to stand and do what it does to us, the love and connect that we have. Every parameter was to be explored for a design space which is unexplored. And so we were to look at the conflicts typically that happen in physics as we understand, and optimize each of these between the two worlds of being fast, being sporty, have a sprint, and also be planted, precise, and aid me to go for a long ride. To do this, we were to use advanced computer simulation because exploring design space, especially where multiple parameters have a lot of seemingly conflicting nature, we were to use these advanced simulation models. It's a 21 degrees of freedom model. What it means is that 9 different block subsystems make up the rider and the bike together as one system which is moving around in this world of gravitational field. And that has 21 different ways of moving. That's what it means. The higher the degree of freedom, that much more the model is complex, and that's that much more true to what it happens on the real world. And 15 plus road profiles that have been configured in the virtual world. And we explored the complete design space to get into the combinations. For example, the front axle weight. The bike is lighter, as you can see, 160 kilograms, but the front axle weight is more. That gives it its unique characteristics. The wheel size, it's a 17-inch, 110/70 front. That again gives its unique characteristic combination. We also introduced a wheel offset. We'll see it in the next slide in detail. The wheelbase is also shorter. And that makes the whole bike get that unscripted characteristic of being planted, but also responsive. The way I want it should ride. It's an all-new chassis. It's a synchro-stiff technology engineered double cradle split chassis with the mass balancing done with 40 millimeters center of gravity moving forward. And the wheel offset was something that was leveraged to dial in the right amount of trail without having to get my steering offset more. What happens typically is for a given caster of 27 degrees, if I have to control the trail, I have to move the wheel forward. And when I do that, it moves away from the center of pivot. So the inertia increases, the response comes down. To tweak that, we have used this wheel offset to get that unique characteristics. The structure is generally expected to be stiff, but the stiffness is also not just static, it's also dynamic. In different frequency ranges, the structure responds very differently. So it was important for us to explore the operating frequency range and optimize the overall stiffness of the system along with the chassis and swing arm design. That makes the complete bike get that unique dynamic characteristics and also a very high level of refinement. Where required, we were to explore some of the unexplored ways of damping, altering the transfer functions of vibration to come from the engine to the vehicle to the tactile points, to dial in a character that connects with me, that talks to me, all in all. The result is depicted here in the form of 2 graphs. What you see on the left side is how much does the bike respond when there is an external disturbance. The disturbance could be a gush of wind with a heavy vehicle passing by. The disturbance could be a pothole. It could be a sudden, unexpected road pattern. But Ronin doesn't care. It doesn't get shaken up. The green line shows that the Ronin gets disturbed the least compared to the other bikes that are out on the road. What you see on the right side is, if something is so planted, then it's difficult for me to move. I need to put a lot of effort, but motorcycle is not for that. Motorcycle should listen to me when I want, and it shouldn't do anything on its own. So that required us to explore the new design space. Here what you see is a frequency range. The frequency is the frequency at which I control. When I do a planned maneuver, it's a low frequency control. I have already planned, I've thought, I do it. When I have to do an unplanned maneuver, or if it's a mountain road with a lot of windings, then I need to do quick maneuvers. So what you see here on the horizontal axis is whether it's a planned slow maneuver or a high frequency control maneuver. All through the range, the control effort is minimized and the response is quick. So the engineered plantedness is adding with that effortless riding, which is something that's unique to go for long rides and enjoy the precision of response and also the planted feel. It's very important that the suspension is also tuned, not just for comfort, but also for the dynamic characteristics. So TVS Ronin gets upside down show front fork with the big piston technology. The big piston offers something unique, instantaneous response, and the damping is so precise. Whatever be the speed we ride, whatever be the kind of road disturbance, the response has to be very precise to get that accurate damping control. So big piston does that. The rear is a monoshock with a gas-filled chamber, and that adds up to the instant response again from the rear. So the tweaking of the damping and its instantaneous response is a choice that we made to get that overall dynamic character without having to compromise on the comfort. So wherever there is a road disturbance, it readily absorbs the shocks and makes the ride comfortable, as well as you get the precise steering response. Tire is very critical, as we all know, and we were to design a new tire. The Remoro compound was further improved for getting in what we wanted in Ronin, and an all-new tread pattern was designed, a block pattern was designed, looking at each tread block's movements so precisely and matching it with the rest of the vehicle's character. The ergonomics has been designed applying scientific principles to look at how human body reacts. We know about the creep. I can hold 10 kg, but I can't hold 1 kg for a 1 hour time. So the creep is something that plays a lot when you ride for a long distance. It's not only about comfort, it's also about how active I can be, how much can I enjoy the ride. So it's an upright posture that's designed with the scientific principles of our biology to release the back and give us an active upright posture. The seat is designed with the detailing which gives you the segment's best width and the comfort and support. The pressure distribution, as we can see here at the bottom right, it is engineered to distribute overall with the width of contact that we make. And what it means is when I sit for long rides, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, non-stop ride, then my blood circulation is not affected, the pressure is distributed uniformly. That gives a lot of comfort. I keep riding, and all I need is brake for that. Though I don't use it, I need it when I want. So in braking again, we wanted to get something unscripted. As we keep applying the brake, you can look at one number where the force gets multiplied. But actual detailed study reveals that it is dynamic. It keeps changing as we keep pressing the pedal. In a disc brake, of course, you don't get too much of pedal travel, but even within that, there is a dynamic ratio change. So we worked on tweaking this. A lot of experiments were done to get a character. What you can see in the bottom left is a graph that depicts as you get the brake on, most of the times you want just mild brake. You want the bike to respond to you. Say in the traffic, you just want to touch the brake and keep going. So that response is much higher in the Ronin design at the beginning, which means that effortlessly you can get that. But that doesn't mean that when I want a lot of brake, I instantly lock the wheel and the ABS kicks in and then makes the ride unpleasure. So as the progression happens, the ratio is modified in a way that you get a very progressive, quick, effortless braking in a city traffic and the good amount of braking power fully there to explore when you want the full brake. TVS Ronin is also dialed in with ABS ride modes. You get Rhine, you get urban. It makes hell a lot of difference. I was riding in the Alps recently, and to be honest, I could realize myself how much ABS makes sense, especially if it is raining. It was raining cats and dogs, and on the rain with ABS mode, switched over to rain. It was fabulous to ride the bike. And of course, suddenly the rain stops and you can't get to ride anymore with the ABS on coming in so frequently. And on the go changeover of the mode is something that's another big factor that adds up to pushing the engineering and the science to get us what we want. Enjoy the limits without having to exert ourselves. With so much to ride, it is very important that we get beautiful looking signature lamp that also lights up the road as much as I would love without having to hurt the other road users. So that's the theme of definition for the lighting. It's a compact vertical stack-up LED lamp. It's sophisticated, bright. We'll see in the next slide how much bright. The tail lamp is something that's again unique. It comes with a solid crystalline light bar. When design drives engineering, a lot of innovation is demanded to make it look the way it looks and function something that adds up to what the design is. So we were to innovate on the way the light is generated and thrown on the tail lamp. What you see on the Ronin is a hybrid light emission technology where the LED light source has a reflector and also a solid light bar. That makes a unique, distinct, characteristic tail lamp readily noticeable on the road. Also the turn signal lamp, the arrow-shaped turn signal lamp is readily noticed. Here again, the LED doesn't prick the eyes of the other road users directly. We used what is called indirect light emission reflector technology. So here, the LED source is camouflaged for the direct visibility, and homogeneous light output is brought by using the lens design very intelligently. What it means on the road as I go, what on top we see is the low beam, and the horizontal axis is the distance to which I get the light thrown. The pink or the blue or violet curve is what is the best that's in the segment today, and Ronin gives more light output. In the near also, it throws far. Similarly, on the high beam, as you can see, it's far throwing onto the road with intensity which is very high where I need to get to see. So the other road users are respected, but I need my road to be lit. I need it to be lit for a long distance if I have to ride for long in the night at higher speeds. So that's the theme, and that's what the delivery is. Let's look at the last part, the electronic controls that have gone into making TVS Ronin again unscripted. What we have come up with is an intelligent electronic architecture that has a combination of the engine management system, the ABS control unit, the intelligent smart cluster, and first in segment integrated intelligent starter generator. That is another controller added. All of them talk to each other. It's a distributed master-slave configuration and a scalable software architecture. That means as we keep riding, as we keep developing, I can keep adding up to the features without having to disturb the base. So that's an all-new software architecture combined with the electronic architecture that is coming in Ronin. First in segment, integrated starter that is silent, that is instant. Today, ISG is common, we have in many models, but to put it in a single cylinder 225cc, we thought we will do it, but it wasn't easy. The kind of torque demand that the engine does and the size of the machine that is required and the kind of temperatures as the engine heats up, how that weakens the coil of the machine, all of this taught us a lot of lessons in engineering that we didn't know before. It was a long journey, but very interesting deep learning cycle. And that made us to dive deeper into looking at every small signal that comes from the engine in terms of the torque demand, the position control, and what the motor, the starter generator, develops for a given current as a torque output. So unique start strategies have been adopted, and the alternator, of course, is a higher capacity machine that makes the starting very quiet, silent, instantaneous, and also anytime, anywhere, cold, hot. On the connected front, of course, on the dashboard, that's what as a rider I love to see. On the dashboard, Ronin comes with a very unique speedometer that's a little bit offset to the left and also rotated a little bit. That again was discovered, I would say, by studying deeply into the cognitive ergonomics, how we look at things when we ride, what we want to notice, and how much is the eyeball movement, keeping off the track, on the track. So the ergonomics has been tweaked to get the design-driven function excellence, and that's a thin bezel, beautiful looking smart cluster. It comes with a lot of loaded features, connected smartness. You can manage the calls on the go, on the handlebar. As I said before, you can change the ride modes. You get voice assistant as well as you ride. And it's not about talking. It's about talking to the bike. It's about asking the bike to do something that I want as I go. Assist is something that makes the whole ride enjoyable, pleasure, stress-free riding. In the assist, we get added functionalities like phone battery alert, and that also is accessible through the voice. So in the voice, you can find the range. You can ask Ronin how much range is left. You can get a navigation kicked off to a required point, and then you get the voice-guided navigation as well. And you can adjust the cluster intensity and many more. So it's a very, very unique asymmetric monopod, compact with a thin bezel, where the edge is not something that you want to see what is in. Modern display on a classic hood, and an intuitive information display that comes with all the basics, and also, in addition, a lot of details that make the ride so enjoyable and pleasurous. So the ergonomics is something here again, the science was helping us to find that particular position and that particular angle of rotation and the distance. Of course, considering different anthropometry of riders. The smart connected features, Vimal was touching on that. Of course, you get to explore a lot more tomorrow as you ride. So you manage so many things always in life. It's not one at a time. But when it comes to riding, most of us prefer riding, nothing else. But the world doesn't spare us like that. So I do get calls. And I don't want to be doing this so bad. And so I stay connected. I stay connected as I want. And then the voice assist helps me to do that. And when I'm off from the bike, the digital dashboard on my mobile through the Smart Connect app gets me to see so many things, even if I'm away from the bike. And on the bike, I manage all my calls, I get my messages and notifications. I can switch off the notifications when I want to ride peacefully, only for the purpose of riding. And the navigation is voice assisted, so turn by turn, I get the guidance. So that makes TVS Ronin unscripted, and look forward to hearing you tomorrow as you ride what you find unscripted. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please give it up for Mr. Babu. Okay, so we can't wait to show, unveil, reveal what we have been building all this time. Are you ready? Are you ready to see the new way of life? You have to give me some sort of applaud. Come on. Come on, be my audience for a change. Thank you very much. And I would like to invite Krishna, a very, very talented musician. He is a rapper, singer, writer, composer, and he's a very, very popular face in the hip-hop Indian scene. So let's give him a warm welcome because he's going to reveal what we got to say. Let's check this out.
Check. Let's go. Yeah.
$sign one time.
How you guys doing?
Hashtag unscripted.
Yeah.
RONIN. Ride with me now, let the journey begin. I said it's RONIN. Ronin, it's important you remember the name. This is for the ones that like living without a script. We riding out for the trip, we climbing, we never slip. This is for the ones that got no journey defined. We write our own story, only keeping glory in mind. Show me a sign, I'm ready to ride, ready to go with it. Life is no gimmick, you just gotta flow with it, no limit. There's plans to be changed, it's time to switch lanes. No rules to this game, no blues or disdain. Now tell me, are you ready or not? 225cc and I'm ready to rock. I got plenty of talk, tell me when am I caught? Never. Plenty horses on top, be blazing like hot weather. Dare to stand out, just change your plans now. Only when the stand's down do I ever stand down. Cruising clear, you lose your fear like I do. Move and steer, then choose a gear to glide through. RONIN. Ride with me now, let the journey begin. I said it's RONIN. Ronin, it's important you remember the name. I said it's RONIN. Ride with me now, let the journey begin. I said it's RONIN. Ronin, it's important you remember the name. I start up like a cat, got the grace of a mortal, but I can roar like a lion when you're twisting the throttle. I keep my lights on all the time, it don't matter. They running, they scared of my T-face be shining like the sun in Nevada. No one like me out in these streets, whether it's open roads or these steep mountains and peaks, there's no equal. You can see my colors unique, and I can be whatever you seek whenever you need. I got these 9-spoke alloys spinning with ease, plus you can rest assured even when you're cruising at speed. Who's in the lead? Who's on your feet? Who's on the street? The tread on my tires never tire, I'm choosing a breeze. Loaded with tech, I got an app on my own, and they can never even step on the path that I roam. If you need me, you can talk to me through your phone. TVS, the one that got the keys to the throne. Yeah. RONIN. Ride with me now, let the journey begin. I said it's RONIN. Ronin, it's important you remember the name. I said it's RONIN. Ride with me now, let the journey begin. I said it's RONIN. Ronin, it's important you remember the name.
Woohoo! Come on, everyone. Give it a big, big hand. Presenting Ronin. Thank you. Thank you. There can be never enough pictures of something which is that stylish and that innovative. I would like to thank Mr. Babu for joining us on stage. And I would request Vimal Sumli to now share the final secret, the big secret, the pricing of Ronin. Let's see how it goes.
Hello, hello. Guys, we will get all the time to shoot the bikes.
Absolutely.
They're so beautiful.
Would request you all to please, you can get seated. Yeah. Thank you. And then we'll have another session. Thank you.
Thanks. So there are three variants in it, which is base, base plus, and mid. And I'll just take you through the pricing of Ronin, which is really, really attractive. And it starts with base of 149,000, lightning black and magnum red. These are the two colorways for it. We have base plus, which is delta blue and stargaze black, starting at 156,000. And then we have mid, which is galactic gray at 168,750 and dawn orange at 170,750. So you got to choose Ronin right from 149,000 up to 170,750,000 rupees. So these are all ex-showroom prices, and they come with set of accessories, set of apparels, and the whole Ronin world along with you. So guys, let me share the final AV before we get to shoot this bike in full. So can we have the final AV of the Ronin, please? Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, gentlemen. Whoa, that was something. And now I would like to invite Harini from Corporate Communications to share her views with you. Unscripted hashtag.
Wow, that was quite a spectacle, right? TVS Ronin indeed marks our foray into the modern retro segment, a significant milestone in the growth story of premium business at TVS Motor. It ushers in a new era of motorcycling with a spontaneous way of life. As we chart our journey towards this unscripted, I'm here to extend our gratitude to all our media friends who are with us today and who have flown from all across the country. Thank you. Our esteemed customers, partners, and dealer friends watching us live today, thank you for staying with us. A spectacular event takes many teams to work together. Our sincere gratitude and appreciation to our partners at the events, PR, creative, and digital agencies for tirelessly working on this event. Thank you to the team TVS for working relentlessly to making this launch a reality. It was wonderful hosting you all today And thank you again for being with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Harini. Thank you so much. I would like to invite Vimal and our Babu back on stage for the photo opportunity. Looks like we are not done yet. We need some more pictures. Here you go. Here you go, gentlemen. And after this, I would request everyone to immerse in the world of Ronin. We have created an experience center. Please go look at it, touch, feel, and just experience the world of Ronin. And join us for high tea too, please. Thank you. Also, a small announcement. I will see everybody at 7:30 for some good Goa time, for some music, some nice dinner, and just we'll get talking. We'll just have a good evening. Thank you so much. I'll see you at 7:30. Meanwhile, you experience the Experience Center. This is Pamela signing off.
$sign one time. Hashtag unscripted. RONIN. Ride with me now, let the journey begin. I said it's RONIN. Ronin, it's important you remember the name. This is for the ones that like living without a script. We riding out for the trip, we climbing, we never slip. This is for the ones that got no journey defined. We write our own story, only keeping glory in mind. Show me a sign. I'm ready to ride, ready to go with it. Life is no gimmick, you just gotta flow with it, no limit. There's plans to be changed, it's time to switch lanes. No rules to this game, no blues or disdain. Now tell me, are you ready or not? 225cc and I'm ready to rock. I got plenty of talk, tell me when am I caught? Never. Plenty horses on top, be blazing like hot weather. Dare to stand out, just change your plans now. Only when the stand's down do I ever stand down. Cruising clear, you lose your fear like I do. Move and steer, then choose a gear to glide through. RONIN. Ride with me now, let the journey begin. I said it's RONIN. Ronin, it's important you remember the name. I said it's RONIN. Ride with me now, let the journey begin. I said it's RONIN. Ronin, it's important you remember the name. I start up like a cat, got the grace of a mortal, but I can roar like a lion when you're twisting the throttle. I keep my lights on all the time, it don't matter. They run and they scatter. My T-face be shining like the sun in Nevada. No one like me out in the streets, whether it's open roads or these steep mountainous peaks, there's no equal. You can see my colors unique, and I can be whatever you seek whenever you need. I got these 9-spoke alloys spinning with ease, plus you can rest assured even when you're cruising at speeds. Who's in the lead? Who's on your feet? Who's on the street? The tread on my tires never tire, I'm choosing the breeze. Loaded with tech, I got an app on my own, and they can never even step on the paths that I roam. If you need me, you can talk to me through your phone. TVS, the one that got the keys to the throne. RONIN. Ride with me now, let the journey begin. I said it's RONIN. Ronin, it's important you remember the name. I said it's RONIN. Ride with me now, let the journey begin. I said it's RONIN. Ronin, it's important you remember the name.